The crowd is reacting to this stalemate like it is a disaster. Like the hype train derailed. Like Carrick's momentum just smashed into a concrete wall. That is lazy commentary. What if I told you this match didn't just stall Manchester United? It ripped the cover off. The one glitch they still haven't fixed. If Carrick doesn't plug this hole immediately, better squads won't just annoy United, they will punish them. Because this wasn't about the Hammers, and it certainly wasn't about catching a bad break. Critics will scream fatigue, but I guarantee you that is false. Stick with me, and I will expose exactly what that rot is. And the single tweak that determines if the Carrick era becomes a dynasty or just another rebuild we are discussing in music, 2 years right now. Walk into any pub in Manchester or scroll your timeline on X, and the vibe is music. Identical. It is that familiar gut punch. How on earth did we not win that? We held 70% of the ball. We bossed them for 80 minutes. Yet the loudest voices are already yelling that the honeymoon is dead and we are back to the old United, the version that lets a team like West Ham, who looked happy just to survive, snatch a point in the dying seconds. Well, I want you to sit in that anger for a moment, because if you represent United, you have watched this movie on repeat. But here is the detail nobody is spotting. Everyone is obsessed with the final score. I am watching the rotations. And you are likely missing the structural red flag that West Ham just highlighted. Because this wasn't a bad day in the office. It was a tactical checkmate proving Carrick's greatest strength is about to become his biggest liability. Before we dig into the why, we need to cut through the noise because the easy takes are everywhere and they are dangerously incorrect. First, the players were tired. Stop it. United had a full recovery cycle. The intensity in the first 20 minutes was electric. Exhaustion didn't force those passes sideways for an hour. Second, it was just bad luck. Was it luck is hitting the post? If you don't manufacture premium chances, you don't get to blame the cosmos when the ball doesn't go in. Next, we just failed to finish. What chances? Aside from a few moments of solo magic, United never actually terrified the West Ham goalkeeper. Taking 20 shots doesn't mean you were dangerous. It means you were frantic. And the big one, West Ham parked the bus. Obviously, this is the Premier League. Everyone outside the top 6 is going to build a wall against Carrick United. If your entire game plan collapses because the opponent actually decides to defend, you don't have a strategy. You have a hope. If you want to see where the Carrick era could potentially crash, look no further than the 50th minute. This wasn't a tactical masterclass by West Ham. It was a chain of individual blunders, starting with this guy here, who frankly owned United all night. Now he launches a long ball, a simple, hopeful diagonal. Now watch Luke Shaw. He is tracking Jared Bowen, but that isn't the issue. Shaw's first crime is that the ball had no right to touch the turf. In the Premier League, you never let a 50-yard diagonal hit the grass in your own defensive third. That is defending 1-0-1. But Shaw waits. He hesitates. And after the bounce, he lets Bowen, who he outweighs and should dominate, bully him off the ball. But hold on, it gets worse. Shaw's second crime is the recovery. In this spot, you have to make a choice. Take the ball or take the man. You cannot let both pass. Instead, he does neither. He is in no man's land, allowing Souček to scoop up the scraps and cycle it wide to Bowen. Now eyes on Lisandro Martínez, a man I would trust to defend my life. But check his body language on the flank. He is literally waiting for Bowen to cross. He stands off, gifting one of the league's most dangerous servers 3 yards of space to aim. Why would you wait for the cross to flash across the goal? You are a world-class center back. You engage. You block. You kill the play. Instead, Licha ball watches, and just like Shaw, when the delivery finally zips across the face of goal, he fails to deal with it. So I ask you, when your two most veteran defenders commit 4 rookie errors in 10 seconds, what do you expect happens next? Souček doesn't even have to work for it. He just finished the job United started for him. Now look, I know I just spent 2 minutes roasting the defense, but let's be music real. Conceding 1 goal to West Ham is not why United drew this match. Top teams get scored on. We saw United in the exact same spot against Arsenal. They fell behind, stayed cool, and found a way to win. That is what contenders do. The real reason United walked away with 1 point instead of 3 isn't what happened in their own box. It is what happened, or rather what failed to happen, up front. Welcome to the middle third gridlock. West Ham did something bold. West Ham refused to take the bait, sitting in a rigid 4-5-1 block that completely choked off the supply to Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo. Here is the fatal flaw. Carrick's entire philosophy is predicated on rapid changes in tempo. It relies on lightning-quick interplay through the middle designed to catch defenders on the wrong foot. When it clicks, it is the Midas touch, absolutely breathtaking football, but flood those central channels with 9 defensive bodies, and that magic evaporates, exposing the naked truth. The Hammers proved that if you refuse to press, United have no clue how to displace you, despite hoarding 65% of the ball. Just look at the reality. Virtually 0 legitimate chances created until the clock was nearly at 0. They owned the ball but lost the plot, resembling a Ferrari trapped in gridlock, revving high but going nowhere. This forces us to confront the single most terrifying question of this management tenure. When the counterattack is off the table, does this squad actually have the craft to pick the lock? But let's be fair. Spotting the issue is simple. Fixing it falls on Michael Carrick. And to his credit, he attempted a tactical rescue in real time. He didn't just watch it happen. Around the 70-minute mark, he pulled a lever that shifted the entire momentum of the game. He hooked Harry Maguire, who had been sweating over the space behind him, and introduced the sensation Leny Yoro. This wasn't a standard rotation, it was a systemic overhaul, morphing United into an ultra-aggressive 3-2-5 attack shape. They pinned the opposition back against their own goal line, but playing that high is flirting with disaster. You leave your defenders on a deserted island, music. And that is exactly where Yoro became the hero. While the rest of the squad hunted for a winner, Yoro operated as a one-man defensive wall. His recovery speed and 2 miraculous blocks were the sole reason United stayed alive to salvage a point. He provided the safety net Carrick needed to go for broke. So, what is the takeaway? West Ham didn't destroy the project, but they just handed the rest of the league the cheat code to stop it. They showed that if you park the bus and challenge United to be creative, they will run out of answers. Now, I need your input. Aren't we past the stage of keeping our most lethal finisher on the sidelines until we are desperate for a goal? Benjamin Šeško is demanding a permanent spot in this starting 11. But there is a massive dilemma. If you start Šeško to smash the low block, a big name has to be sacrificed. So let's settle this right now. Does Šeško make the lineup for the music next match? And if he does, who is the casualty? Is it Cunha? Do you tweak the engine room instead? Drop your ideal starting 11 in the comments below. And smash that subscribe button. Because up next, we are breaking down the tactical fixes and 5 critical lessons the boss must learn to stay in the top 4 race.